So, I'm happy to say that my friend Dr. Bethel is here today, come to inspire me to talk about Krishna. So we'll begin with a reading from Bhagavad-gita and then a reading from Srila Prabhupada. Agena Timarandasya Gananjana Shilakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who with the torchlight of knowledge has opened my eyes, which were darkened by the blindness of ignorance. Namaste Shri Bhakti Vijay Gaudavanyai Shrimati Prem Bhakti Rasambhade Prem Vijay Prabhu Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutle Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Namine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutle Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasarne Navashesh Shanyavadi Pastacha Dishtani. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Srila Siddha Maharaj ki jai. So we're reading from Bhagavad-gita, 3rd chapter, Divine Communion through Dedicated Service. Arjuna then said, O Master, protector of all the people, you appear to be of the opinion that pure contemplation is superior to active life. Why then do you push me forward into this horrific effort at civil war? Your words seem inconclusive, and my intellect cannot come into focus unless you affirm, more singularly, that course of action which will produce the greatest good. The Lord, who is the reservoir of all beauty, replied, O my pure-hearted friend, I have said that in this world there are two types of diligent seekers who come at last to communion with the Supreme: the contemplators, who try to understand the Supreme Truth through the cultivation of scientific theistic knowledge, and the persons of action, who strive to work with all devotion for the pleasure of the Supreme Person. By merely abandoning action, a person can neither become purified from the taint of previous misdeeds, nor achieve a position transcendental to the laws of action and reaction. The state of perfection can never be attained through external renunciation alone. No one can be without engagement, even for an instant, since the quality of nature is that all are forced to act. Those who attempt to restrict themselves from action on the sensory plane, while cherishing the memory of sense pleasure, are hypocrites, and they act through false pretense. Those who balance the action of the mental and sensual spheres by full engagement of all their faculties in selfless devotional activities are by far more highly evolved. Rather than yield to inaction, it is better to perform those actions which are required of you, which are necessary and unavoidable. Without proper engagement, even bodily health will deteriorate. One's endeavors should arise out of a spirit of sacrifice and devotion to the all-pervasive Supreme Divine Person. Action performed for other reasons binds one to the wheel of birth and death. My dear Kunteya, please perfect within yourself this spirit of acting only for the pleasure of the Supreme, as such a spirit constitutes in itself full liberation. In primeval times, the Supreme Divine Person, the source of all that lives, having manifested the first of the generations, blessed them and taught them this doctrine of selfless divine service. They were told that through the pure endeavor of divine sacrifice, they would become wealthy, and all that they could ever possibly desire would come to them. The Devas, the subordinate gods who are the empowered controllers of the cosmic functions, being pleased by their devotional efforts, would in turn please them. Through such divine cooperation, all would gain their fair share of wealth, and blessings of all descriptions would descend upon the land. Working in cooperation and love, everyone would at last come to the supreme destination. The Devas will certainly provide humanity with the delivery of their daily bread when they see their spirit of self-sacrifice. On the other hand, those who seek to exploit the gifts of nature without assuming their cosmic responsibilities are no better than thieves. When foodstuffs are produced in such a devotional way, they have an uplifting and liberating effect on the saints who consume them. But the meals of selfish persons, cooked without thought for others, implicate the eaters in the violence of the food chain, keep them bound in reaction and guilty of blame. All living beings require foodstuffs to sustain them, and for food, rains are required. When human society is engaged in selfless service, then the rain will not fail to come in proper time and measure. Selfless action has its roots in the Supreme Divine Person, from whom the Divine Logos emanates in the living form of the transcendental sound of revealed truth. Therefore, the all-pervasive Supreme Person may always be communicated with through the selfless performance of the revealed sacrifices. My dear child of Prita, those who are satisfied by a superficial life of sense pleasure, neglecting the scriptures, waste their valuable human lives. But those who come to taste the real flavor of their eternal spiritual personalities, who are illumined by awareness of the Spirit Self, and are fully satisfied by engagement in spiritual activities, transcend all mundane obligations. Actions should not arise from selfish motives, and neither should renunciation. Furthermore, one must never exploit others for one's own gain. A person who engages continuously in selfless devotional labors, acting out of spontaneous necessity to render service, achieves the supreme destination without fail. It was through selflessly serving with devotion that great rulers such as Janak and others came to the plane of perfection. You also should give light to the whole world by executing your responsibilities in a similar spirit. Whatever great and cultured persons do, the general populace runs to imitate. The people naturally follow what they learn from leaders. My dear child of Prita, no action I take anywhere throughout the galaxies is enforced upon me by duty, and I am in need of nothing. Yet still I always go on with my service. If I ever fail to do what is expected of me, all humankind will follow in my footsteps. Were I to falter in my service, the whole world would follow my example and be ruined, and I would be responsible for degradation in the flow of generations. Persons without information as to the nature of proper action act selfishly and divisively, whereas the truly wise perform their service selflessly with a view to inspire and unite the whole world. One should not confuse the minds of the unenlightened who are attached to selfish works by encouraging them to become inactive. They must be inspired instead to act in devotion. Souls who allow their false egos to transform them into fools, and who are ignorant of the real nature of the self, consider themselves to be the cause of their own actions and the results those actions bring. In actual fact, all worldly actions arise on account of the dynamic interweaving of the binding forces of material nature. A true master remains always selfless beyond the influence of the binding forces of nature. Such a soul never becomes implicated in the cycle of desire and fulfillment. Lazy persons who make no effort to cultivate the spirit remain fooled by the magical powers of my external nature and implicated in the reactive chain produced by selfish acts. Nonetheless, the wise should act gently with them. Rendering your service to me in consciousness fully illuminated by the light of revelation, free from profit motive, put out the fires of nihilism and go forward into battle. Anyone who acts continuously and selflessly with full faith and devotion to me, and with compassion for all beings, is at once free from the cycle of action-reaction. The self-centered persons who fail to understand the importance of my teachings remain fools, despite their so-called learning, and their consciousness is always troubled. One should try to act in a natural way, for that is the true attainment of the wise. No one can oppose their own nature. The positive and negative attractions which the sensory objects exercise over the senses are produced by the effects of ancient subtle impressions within the mind stuff. One must avoid being dominated by such external stimuli, inasmuch as such attachments and aversions represent the major obstacles on the path of transcendence. By adopting a superior conception of action, we are led to conclude that one should follow the law of one's own innermost being, escaping the temptation to depart from that and follow the path of another. It is better to fail while trying to be oneself than to succeed in becoming someone else. Arjuna then felt inspired to ask, O pillar of the Rishni dynasty, how is it that people sometimes seem forced to blameful actions against their own higher instincts? Even despite their conscious resolution, they appear to be driven, just as lifeless things may be driven by wind or water. Lord Krishna, the proprietor of all opulence, replied, self-centered sense desire, born of the impassioning force of external nature and easily convertible to anger, is the all-destructive, all-entangling foe in this world. Each conditioned soul is covered in some degree by an element of passionate sense desire. For some, it is like the covering of fire by smoke. For others, it is like the coating of a mirror with dust. Whilst for others, it resembles the enclosure of the embryo within the darkness of the womb. In this way, the soul's pure consciousness is found to be burning in the flames ignited by the foe in the form of impassioned sense desire. The foe resides in one's own mind and senses, and from that hiding place blinds one's inner vision and causes the growth of a myriad of misconceptions. You are the best amongst the descendants of Bharat, and I therefore implore you to supervise carefully the activities of your senses. Defeat this foe who has come to eclipse your natural wisdom. The sensory platform is subordinate to the mental sphere, which in turn is subordinate to the pure intellect. The position of the spirit self, however, is still more sublime and powerful. My mighty armed friend, it lies with you to conquer this deadly enemy by balancing your mental and intellectual functions with a clearer vision of the transcendent reality. So, Krishna talks about the supreme destination. In other words, there's a very wonderful purpose, a very wonderful goal for all our struggle in this material world. Yeah? It's not an easy journey here. But Krishna is encouraging us and saying, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep coming toward me. Keep your focus on me.
Yes.
Yeah? There's many things in this world that can take your attention
yes.
and attraction, isn't it? They are called false attractions.
Yes.
And wealth, power, beauty, so many things, they are false attractions because they will bring no lasting satisfaction to the soul.
Yeah.
They'll bring some temporary satisfaction and pleasure for the body.
Yes.
But then when it's finished, what happens then?
Yeah.
Back to square one. And the problems are not solved. What are the problems? Birth, old age, disease and death.
So, yeah.
They've not been solved. So Krishna says, he talks about the supreme destination. Param Gatim in Sanskrit. Param means supreme and Gatim objective, destination. Yeah. What is that supreme destination? So the gurus and the Lord himself tell us about that place. I was just listening yesterday, one lecture by our spiritual master Prabhupada. He was talking about some prayers called the Brahma Samhita. There are many planets in this universe, material universe. And the topmost planet is called Brahma Loka. Brahma Loka, yeah. And for each planet there is a deity, there's a presiding god or goddess that's in charge. Yeah? And for the topmost planet it's Lord Brahma.
Oh,
Brahma, yeah. And he's also he's the first living being in this universe. He's the first one. And then he creates the universe by Krishna's power, that Brahma. So he's a very, very great soul. and he has special knowledge. And he's given us some very, very famous prayers which we are recommended to study actually every day, called the Brahma Samhita. That's written by Lord Brahma himself.
Oh, okay.
And all the important principles of Krishna consciousness are described in that Brahma Samhita. And Prabhupada was talking about one verse. He was just one, it's many verses. He was quoting in Sanskrit language originally. Chintamani prakarasat masukalpa vriksha lakshaviteshu surabhira vipalayantam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So this verse gives us a description. There are others, but this verse gives us some description of that supreme destination, which is beyond this material world, outside of this material universe. There is the spiritual universe. It is much, much bigger than this material world.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between the material universe and the spiritual universe.
Yes.
The difference is that this place is temporary. Nothing will last here forever. It will all be destroyed at some point. And then it is created again. But that spiritual universe is called Sanatan Dham. Dham means place or abode. And Sanatan means eternal.
Oh,
Eternal. It is ever existing. And that's God's personal kingdom. That's His personal home. Of course, this is His kingdom as well.
Yes.
He created it. But it is not His personal home.
Personal home.
That's His personal home. It's called Goloka Vrindavan. Goloka is the topmost planet in that spiritual universe, which is Krishna's personal home, Goloka. It means planet of the cows. There Krishna is herding his cows every day. He's a cowherd boy. He doesn't go to the office. He enjoys. Krishna has a desire to enjoy. He wants to enjoy. That's why we also have a desire to enjoy. Because we are part and parcel of Him.
Yes.
Same quality, but different quantity. So we also have that desire to enjoy. Krishna is enjoying beautifully every day. He's going out with the cowherd boys, the cows, the cowherd girls. They're all one beautiful, happy family. And they all love Krishna.
Yeah.
And there's no problems there. There's no shortage of anything. Here we see shortage.
Yeah.
Oh, one day shortage of this, shortage of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Shortage of rain, too much rain. Shortage of... main thing there's a shortage here is Krishna consciousness. There's a big shortage of God consciousness. But in that spiritual realm, Goloka, everybody loves Krishna. Like that.
Yes.
So that is the supreme destination. Krishna and Lord Brahma describes Chintamani. The houses there are made of Chintamani. Chintamani, the English word is touchstone.
Oh, touchstone.
Touchstone. And if you take a piece of iron and you touch that touchstone, that iron will turn into gold. Yeah. So Chintamani is a very wonderful jewel. Yeah? And all the houses there are made of Chintamani, not bricks, yeah? Or wood. Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Chintamani. Money means jewel, Chintamani. Then he says, Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha. Kalpa vriksha. There's a tree. The trees there are called kalpa vriksha. Those trees are different from the trees here because whatever you want, you can get from that tree.
Okay.
Yeah, any kind of fruit, you can get mango, you can get apple, you can get anything, any quantity also. No limit to the quantity. You can even get like anything you want, you can get from that tree. It's called a desire tree.
Oh yes.
Wow. Yeah, it's called kalpa vriksha. Chintamani prakara sadmasa kalpa vriksha laksha viteshu surabir. And the cows there, they're called Surabhi.
Mm.
And from those cows you can get unlimited milk any time of the day. Yeah, in this world you can get a milk 2 or 3 times maximum, yeah? A day. That cow, any time you can get as much milk as you like. Like that. Lakshabiteshu Surabhir Abhipalayantam. So this is just a little bit of like a introduction to what is going on there in the spiritual world. Very different place. And there's no influence of time.
Oh, yes.
So nobody gets old. Why do we get old? Because of time, isn't it? Yeah. Time passes. I was born in 51, and now it's 2018, and now I'm 66.
Yeah.
So I've got old.
Yeah.
Time has passed.
Time has passed.
But there's no time passing there.
No, no time passed.
Just the present, everything. We can't imagine what is this. We can't imagine. Yeah. We only know this material world. That's all we know. Everything here it comes to life, it gets old, it dies, it gets finished. That's all we know. So they're coming with this information. Here's the book, Bhagavad-gita. Yeah? It's a very reliable book, saying that there's another place. You can't get there by rocket ship. No, sir. No. This material universe, it's covered. It's like a giant egg. And there's 10 layers. Like a giant, you can't get through those layers to get to the spiritual world. How are you going to get there? Different process. It's called bhakti, devotion. Only you can enter that place if you have pure love for Krishna. Nobody else is allowed there. If you don't have pure love for Krishna, if you've got some other desire, except the desire to please Krishna, you can't come in. Doesn't matter. Your passport, your visa, nothing will help you. So, very amazing place, but it's a very special way to get there. But it's worthwhile trying to get there, isn't it? Why should we stay in this? This is a second-class place, isn't it? Birth, old age, disease, and death. There's second class, 10th class. Why am I struggling here? Isn't that a better place to go?
Yeah.
Would you prefer? If you can go to the travel agent and say, okay, do you want to go to material world or spiritual world? When you want to get a ticket? Yeah? Which one do you prefer? You can take a ticket, yeah?
Yeah.
Which one will you take? A madman, you'll say, I'll stay here with all the trouble and I won't go there. He's a madman, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the situation. We've got choices now. We're hearing. Now we hear. Before we didn't even know. We think this is everything.
Yeah.
I got one ticket. I got just a ticket to the material world. Now we got another possibility. You can go to the spiritual. Why? Because you're a human being. The dogs and cats, they'll never understand about that supreme place.
Yeah.
They'll just eat, sleep, have sex and die. Yeah. But we're not animals. We've got better intelligence. And we can read a book like Bhagavad-gita and hear that there's another destination where you should go. That's your home. You don't belong here. This is not your home. You're a refugee. Everyone here is a refugee. All of the people are refugees.
Yeah.
They don't belong here. Yeah. So, so we should believe that. Yeah? Why should we say this is nonsense? This is some crazy book. Yeah? You fool. Don't you understand who this is here? This is Krishna speaking, the Lord. I should listen. I should believe. And then take responsibility.
Yes.
I must. Nobody can go there for you. You must go there yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody can take you there.
Yes.
And you do nothing. You lie on the beach all day. Yeah. No, you have to make the effort. That's called love. Love means that I want to give you service. I want to please you. Otherwise, there's no love, isn't it? It's not automatic. It's not like some machine.
Yeah.
No. So we have to try to love Krishna. That's the process. What does that mean? Serve. If I love someone, does it mean I do nothing for them? Huh? I just do nothing for them. No. If you love somebody, if you really, really love, madly love, crazy love, hey, all day long, day and night, you want to say, how can I please my beloved? Am I right?
Yeah.
It's natural. You won't even think about it. It'll be automatic.
Yes.
So that is called Krishna consciousness. To be madly in love with Krishna. Yeah? So how do we get from here to there? This is not first class here. It's a bad bargain. This is a bad bargain here. You can get a little bit pleasure, but lots of trouble.
Yeah.
If you weigh up the two, If you're a businessman, is this a good deal? No, sir. It's a bad bargain.
It's a bit bad.
If I'm clever, I'll say, no thanks.
Yeah,
Can I get a better bargain, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So Krishna's coming, the gurus are coming. Say, here's the good bargain.
Oh, okay.
Put down the rock. You got an old smelly rock in your hand.
Yeah.
Put it down and take a jewel.
Take a jewel.
Your choice. Your choice. Your choice. Nobody can force you.
Mm.
Nobody. So this is opportunity now. And then what do we do? How do we make progress towards that place? Yeah. The first thing to understand is I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. How much time have I got?
Yes.
I should think like that. Some people, they say, it's okay, I'm not going to do my spiritual life now. I'm busy, but when I get older,
Yeah.
I'm retired.
Yeah.
I'll have some time. I'll sit on the porch and I'll read my books and meditate when I'm 65 or 75. They think, not now though. I'm too busy here.
Yeah.
What is that? That's nonsense. Because tomorrow,
Yeah.
you may die.
Mm.
No guarantee.
Yeah, I don't know about
So what does that mean? The situation is urgent. I shouldn't think, let me take it slow. Let me just relax about my spiritual life. No, sir. You don't know when your time is coming. A few weeks ago, a devotee, a young Krishna devotee that I knew a little bit from East Rand, from up the Witwatersrand side.
Yeah.
I hear that he was in a motor accident, finished.
So,
Quick, finished. Young man, young boy in his 20s.
Sure.
Yeah. You see, so we don't know.
Mm.
So I shouldn't waste my time. I shouldn't waste my time. Now that I've got the knowledge,
Mm.
I should use the knowledge
Yes.
and be a serious student like that. And it's simple. Krishna tells you what to do. You must
Yes.
chant the holy names. You read the Bhagavad-gita. You offer your food to Krishna. In every way, you try to be Krishna conscious. You try to serve the Lord. Yeah.
Okay.
Because for a long time,
Mm.
we have not been conscious of Krishna. When you say Krishna conscious, what does that mean?
Mm.
Krishna is here all the time.
All the time.
He's in every atom right now. Everything here.
Mm.
Inside is Krishna.
Mm.
In every atom.
Mm.
He's in my heart. So, but am I conscious of him?
Mm.
Or am I thinking about the rands and cents? What am I conscious of?
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's here,
Mm.
but am I conscious of him? He's Krishna. He's the source of all spiritual material worlds. He's my nearest and dearest friend. But am I conscious of him? Never mind even love him. Am I even conscious of him? No, sir. It's rands and cents all day long. Rands and cents. Going in the car up and down to get the money.
Yeah.
No consciousness
Yeah.
of Krishna.
Mm.
Bad situation, bad situation. So the Guru comes and says, I will teach you how to become Krishna conscious. You will become conscious of Krishna 24 hours a day. And how does that happen? Through the name, the holy name. This chanting, Sri Gauranga, Hare Krishna. This is the way to become conscious of Krishna.
Oh, Krishna.
Yeah. How simple is that? You don't have to be a big scholar or sit in the temple and the church 24/7. No.
Yeah.
Just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Gauranga, Gauranga. You can become conscious, aware of, Krishna is here. He's guiding me. He's here. He's with me all the time.
All the time.
And what does that mean? That means I'm safe. I'm being looked after. I'm not out alone in this big jungle here.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. No. But you need to become conscious of him. He's there. He's helping. He's ready. But am I conscious of him? That's the problem. How to become conscious? This mantra, these chanting of the holy names.
Oh, yes.
And then it develops. Not from just being conscious, but to become attached, attracted, and then love. This is a whole different, big thing, that's opening up for us. That I can love Krishna. He's a person. Why can I not love him? He's not an ordinary person either. Why can I not love him? But there's a way, there's a process.
Oh.
So that is real love. The love in this world is not real anyway. It is full of cheating and disappointment. But that love is the pure thing, the real thing. You get the real thing and the imitation.
Imitation. Oh, yes.
We've had a lot of the imitation here for millions of lifetimes. We're still looking for the real thing.
Yeah.
It's there. Don't give up, but it's for Krishna. And it's different from anything here. We have to understand that and take guidance from someone who's got that love. Yeah? And day by day and learn. Because we're students. I'm a student. He's Krishna sends the guru who is the master. The professor. Yeah? He's the professor of spiritual science. Teaching happiness. He's a happiness professor.
Yeah.
And I'm a student. I don't know about happiness. I've been trying. Not successful though. So I'm not a professor of happiness.
Yeah.
I'm a low-grade student, first class, the ABC.
ABC.
Yeah, I'm just starting up here, how to become happy.
Yeah.
He'll teach me. So that is my attitude. He's up there and I'm here.
Yeah.
And I must come with the right attitude.
And the right.
My dear spiritual master, I'm fool number one. I'm fool number one. What do I know about life? About the real things, yeah? About love. I don't know nothing. I know about rands and cents a little bit, that's it. And how does that help me? Nothing. I'm still in this material world.
Yeah.
So I've made a mess. I've made some wrong choices. I'm in trouble, difficulty, and I'm not happy. Now I come to you. You're the happiness professor. And what can I offer you? A salary. You don't take a salary. You don't want my money.
Yeah.
What can I give to you? You are perfectly happy. He wants one thing, your heart.
Yeah.
Give him your heart, yeah? Your service, your heart, that he wants. That will satisfy him and he will give it to Krishna, like that. So it's a different thing from any material relationship. Very different, yeah. And it's very beautiful. It's very pure. There's no cheating. There's no exploitation. How beautiful is that? We've had no experience of that. Everything in this material world is about cheating and exploitation. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? Business, yeah? What can you give back forth? Cheating, yeah? Scheming, scamming. We don't have experience of a pure, loving relationship.
Yeah.
We don't believe it actually. We don't even believe that it's true. That's our problem. We struggle to accept that there's someone who just wants to give me his love and give me something very beautiful. He doesn't want anything back. We struggle with that. Oh no, there must be some catch here. Why? Because every relationship in the material world, there's been disappointment. So we're thinking this one will also be disappointing. We don't have faith. But slowly, we can realize this is different. This is something different now. I can't put it in the same category as everything else that I've experienced. No, it's completely different. I need to realize that. And then I can make progress. And then I can have faith. And carry on pursuing day by day, following the instructions, doing the service. And then my faith becomes stronger. This is what I've been looking for. This is the peace I want. This is this fulfillment, the satisfaction, the pleasure. It's coming from this Krishna consciousness. Yeah? I don't need to go anywhere else now. I found it. And then you keep going. Yeah? I want more of this. Yeah? We'll begin to feel like that. Stronger like that. So we'll read a little bit now from one of the great masters, Prabhupada, from a lovely book here called The Perfection of Yoga.
Oh, okay.
So most people think yoga is just breathing, exercise,
Yeah.
health thing, yeah? Fitness. But no, yoga means to connect with God, with Krishna. So Prabhupada's telling us a little bit more how this can happen. If through yoga the mind can be trained, then the mind is our friend. But if the mind is left untrained, then there is no possibility of leading a successful life. For one who has no idea of spiritual life, the mind is the enemy. If one thinks that he is simply the body, his mind will not be working for his benefit. It will simply be acting to serve the gross body and to further condition the living entity and entrap him in material nature. If, however, one understands one position as spirit soul, apart from the body, the mind can be a liberating factor. In itself, the mind has nothing to do. It is simply waiting to be trained. And it is best trained through association. Desire is the function of the mind, and one desires according to his association. So if the mind is to act as friend, there must be good association. The best association is a sadhu, that is, a Krishna-conscious person, or one who is striving for spiritual realization. There are those who are striving for temporary things, asat. Matter and the body are temporary, and if one only engages himself for bodily pleasure, he is conditioned by temporary things. But if he engages himself in self-realization, then he is engaged in something permanent, sat. Obviously, if one is intelligent, he will associate with those who are trying to elevate themselves to the platform of self-realization through one of the various forms of yoga. The result will be that those who are sadhu, or realized, will be able to sever his attachment to material association. This is the great advantage of good association. For instance, Krishna speaks Bhagavad-gita to Arjuna just to cut off his attachment to this material affection. Because Arjuna is attracted to things that are impeding the execution of his own duty, Krishna severs these things. To cut something, a sharp instrument is required. And to cut the mind from its attachments, sharp words are often required. The sadhu or teacher shows no mercy in using sharp words to sever the student's mind from material attractions. By speaking the truth uncompromisingly, he is able to sever the bondage. For example, at the very beginning of Bhagavad-gita, Krishna speaks sharply to Arjuna by telling him that although he speaks like a learned man, he is actually fool number one. If we actually want detachment from this material world, we should be prepared to accept such cutting words from the spiritual master. Compromise and flattery have no effect where strong words are required. So it's very important that our problem is that we're attached to this material world. We've got so many attachments. Yeah? Why is that a problem? It's a problem because if you are attached to this world, material world, you have to keep coming back here. That's the problem. You're going to die, so when you leave your body, what's going to happen to the soul? If you die and your mind and your heart is still attached to this material world, family, friends, so many things, bank balance, cars, house, property, you're attached.
Yeah.
What's that mean? You're going to come back again, get another material body. Why? Because you want that.
Yes.
It's your choice. Krishna doesn't interfere with your desire.
With your desire.
He's trying to encourage you to desire only him. But if you've got other desires, what can you do? So, because you desire still to enjoy material things, the material world, material relationships, you'll come back here again. Yeah, it's your choice. You wanted to enjoy, so here you go. Just like they give an example of somebody who he likes to eat lots of meat and flesh and blood. Yeah, he's a human being, but he's eating like an animal. What will happen to him? Next life he'll get a tiger body. Why? Because he desires. You want to eat meat? Yeah, good. Okay, get a body of a tiger. Then it's got lots of sharp teeth, and you can eat meat all day long. Yeah, you see. Why? Because it's your desire. So, very important at the time of death, what are you desiring and what do you deserve? Krishna will give you. Yeah, it's your choice. But if you live your whole life thinking and eating like an animal, at the time of death you'll be thinking like an animal. The training is there. Because life is a preparation for death. So we should use the time to prepare myself for that time of death, so that at that time I do not have material desires. This is the education we're receiving here.
Yes.
But everybody in the material world has got material desires, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So the problem is, how do I get free of the material desire? They're not good for me. What do they mean? They just mean I've got to come back here again. More birth, more old age, more disease, more death. Is that a good deal? No, thank you, sir. It's not a good deal. So to have those material desires is a great burden. I've told you before, it's like a thorn. You know what a thorn is? In your heart. It's very painful, actually. But you can't pull it out yourself. No, that material attachment is so strong. You can't get free. And Krishna says, how will you get free? Only by associating with a sadhu, with a saint, a Krishna conscious devotee, the guru. He can cut your attachment. Yeah? He can take it away. And instead you become attached to Krishna. It's not that you stop being attached altogether, but you shift that attachment from material attachment to spiritual attachment. I'm a spiritual being. How's it going to work that I'm attached to the material things? I'm not material. How's it going to satisfy? I'm spiritual. So being attached to the material, which is temporary, how's that going to satisfy me? I'm a spiritual being, and I'm an eternal spiritual being, everlasting. And I've become attached to that which is temporary. How's that going to work? It's never going to work. So it's a disease. It's not the natural condition of the soul. It's the diseased condition. Yeah. I've become diseased. To desire material things is a disease. It's not the normal desire of the soul. Yeah. So who can fix me? Who can make me healthy? Who can make me spiritually healthy again? Who can take away that material disease? Guru, the saint. So I have to connect with him. I have to go to him. Yeah? He's ready. He's willing to take anybody. And you don't have to have medical aid. Yeah, he'll take anybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. His mercy is like that. But I have to go to him. If I want to get free of that disease of material attachment and wake up that natural desire and attachment for Krishna and his service. That's life. That's the perfection of life. Yeah? Right there. So Prabhupada is explaining how important it is, that we seek out this saintly person, this sadhu, the Krishna conscious devotee.